It all started with a letter from New York City's Commissioners for International Affairs and Health informing the PGA of the citywide requirement for proof of vaccination for indoor activities, like dining, indoor fitness and other entertainment activities, including convention centres. The rule was welcomed by the President of the General Assembly, who wrote in a letter to member states that he strongly supported the measures as an important step in their return to a fully functional General Assembly. Enter the Russians and this letter to the PGA, in which Ambassador Vasilina Benzia strongly objected to the rule, calling it discriminatory and contrary to the UN headquarters agreement with the United States that asserts UN autonomy over its precinct.
We have discussed with the municipality the different ways to ensure that we have a maximum of people with vaccination. And the New York Mayor's office has put a vaccination capacity at our disposal, so people that come will be able to be vaccinated in the premises or immediately outside the premises, and we hope that there will be other mechanisms. Of course, we as Secretariat cannot tell a head of state if he's not vaccinated that he cannot enter the United Nations. This also must be understood.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio and International Affairs Commissioner Penny Abewardena later thanked the PGA for endorsing the city's rule, also confirming that they would provide COVID-19 testing and vaccinations at UN headquarters next week, with a single-dose J&J vaccine on offer.
The overwhelming majority of the delegations will be vaccinated, but of course some have decided not to vaccinate for reasons that we sometimes see, and others come from countries where vaccines are not yet available. But the overwhelming majority of the delegations come indeed vaccinated. But this shows how dramatic the inequality is today in relation to vaccination.
Russia has called for an urgent meeting of the UN General Assembly to clear up what they believe to be a contradiction of the UN Charter.
We will, of course, work with the President's office and member states on how to implement whatever decisions are taken by the member states that regard delegates. For the part of the Secretariat, as we've said, all staff members that are public-facing, diplomat-facing, journalist-facing are required to be vaccinated.
Moscow's envoy illuminating the limited power vested in the office of the President of the General Assembly, the incumbent Abdulla Shahid, who's only officially been in office since Monday. Under the 1947 headquarters agreement, no federal, state or local law applies if it contradicts UN rules. An organization that, for all intents and purposes, is the master of its own destiny. UN officials had previously pledged to abide by local and national guidance when it came to the COVID-19 pandemic, but as is often the case, member states hold sway when the rubber hits the road. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.